Hey guys, Steven here, Fanatic Perspective. We about to talk about why ASU is now officially on the belt to ass list. Let's go. Y'all hit the like button, subscribe, join the chat. See Gaddis, I see you. Odd Future, I see you. I'm tired of being humble for these naysayers. I'm tired of being humble for these folks. It's enough's enough. and we're talking on some fan stuff. We talking on some fan stuff because on some real, Steve Sarkisian already set the tone with what he said the other day when he told y'all, and he was talking to Lane Kiffin, by the way. We don't play with our food to the degree of tripping up and losing to people. The last 2 years, Texas has lost to three teams: Georgia, Washington, and OU. That's the list over the last 2 years. So this whole thing of people wanting to talk trash about what Texas used to be is hope casting. I love it. I love the trash talk. I love the energy. It fires me up. It makes me more excited for the game. I appreciate the entertainment that guys like Sam Levitt, guys like Cam Scatterbull are putting out there. I love it. Sell the fight. It's It's an entertainment business. I get it. But let's not act like Texas has been out here slipping up and falling asleep to teams that they should be beating. And that includes the good teams. Okay? The Washington, OU, and Georgia. And those are the teams that, and we're talking about OU last year when they had Dylan Gabriel, a Heisman Trophy finalist this year, and way different personnel that they had last year, right? Washington that had almost as many first round picks as we did. Georgia, who can play us straight up because they have as much talent as we do. Nobody else is touching Texas. We just cleaned that conference out that they talking about over there in the Big 12. Let's not forget that. So they want to keep that energy. They want to put that energy out there. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Look, yeah, that's how we coming in 2025, Roel. That's how we coming. That's how we coming. We started on time today. I ain't playing around. There's no more. Look, I'm confident because I know how my guys prepare, and I already know what they don't understand is that these boys covered against Clemson, beat them by 14 points, and they're pissed. That's my football team. Covered 1 by 14, and they're freaking pissed because they didn't represent the way that they have all season, which is dominance on the defensive side of the ball, which is dominance. Y'all gonna find out the hard way, Arizona State. I respect people trying to parlay our name to create their own brand and to uplift themselves. I respect it. That's the name of the game. That's the hustle they playing. I respect it. But it's a different game when you see that Texas offensive line. It's a different game when you see that Texas secondary. It's a different game when you see that level of physicality, that size, that speed. Arizona State has not even seen that on a football field this year. They have not. We want to talk about common opponent. Your common opponent is Mississippi State with us, who we obliterated with our backup quarterback. Messed around for a half. Archer's first, that was our first SEC game overall. Messed around for a half. We both played Mississippi State at home. For them, that Mississippi State game where they beat them in Tempe, that was a signature win for Arizona State. For Texas, that was light work. So if we want to talk that talk, we can talk that talk. If we want to talk that talk, we can talk that talk. I've been very, very, very respectful because I like Arizona State. I like what they've built. I respect teams that people counted them out, and that's the energy that they have and that they should have, right? People have counted them out since the beginning of the season. When they tell you that your coach is ranked 15th out of 16 coaches in the Big 12, yeah, you're going to feel some type of way. When you got a bunch of guys, think about where all these guys on Arizona State came from. Cam Scatterbo came from Sacramento State. Shout out to Brennan Marion, new head coach at Sacramento State. I'm proud of you, brother. Also, Coach Marion got married. So congratulations on the marriage. Congratulations on the promotion. New head coach at Sacramento State. But Cam Scatterbo came from Sacramento State. Sam Levitt came from Michigan State. Then they did the whole overhaul. Jonathan Smith goes with Oregon. He brings his own quarterback, Aiden Childs, another 2023 guy. I broke that down in the video I did with Richie from Locked On Sun Devils in terms of the quarterback musical chairs that's happening in the 2023 high school class, right? So you factor in all of these different components, right? Of, they got these guys. They got Kenny Dillingham, who's feeling super disrespected. Look, I get it, folks. But that's not going to save you in Atlanta. That's not going to save you in the Beach Bowl. Because let me tell you something else. There's another team on a mission too. And that's a team on a mission to win a national championship, to get back from what they had lost in the playoffs last year. That team that lost to Washington on what came down to the final snap of the game. So, folks, this is really, really, really critical in terms of understanding. Texas is hungry. Texas is pissed. So if we want to go with the rah-rah stuff, we can go with the rah-rah stuff. But when we start getting down to the brass tacks and the football reasons and who's going to block Colin Simmons and how the hell they're going to stop our run game, good luck. Good freaking luck. I really, 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 really need to know how they're going. Zach Swanson and these guys up front. No, I don't see it. I don't see the vision. Now, they want to commit, everybody in the city of Tempe, plus some people from Scottsdale and other places to go into the box to stop our run game. Then let Quinn Ewers sit back there and just pick this thing apart. All right. Not to mention, they're a good football team. They're not on Texas's level. This is not what y'all think it is. Yo, the locked on Big 12 folk. Look, that guy is talking a good game. He is giving himself. He's building himself up. Really to talk that ish. He really, really is. He really, really is. Because I can't believe folks out here talking about we about to get blown out. Folks out here bringing up the Tom Herman days. Folks out here bringing up the Charlie Strong days. How many bowl eligible teams have y'all faced? Don't worry, I'll wait. Like people love to bang on Texas, and we've dealt with this all year. It's nothing new. It's nothing new. But we just go on and handle our schedule and do what we got to do. But when you notice, listen, this is why it's just funny to me, and I have to counter some of this, because when you hear people bringing up typical Texas or Texas usually, what Texas are you talking about? Because I don't want to hear any narrative beyond 2023, because that's the basis of what our team is. The 2023 team and the 2024 team. 2022, yeah, we had a lot of guys from 2022. They were babies. They went, 8-5 or whatever they went. They were babies. So the 2023 team that finished third in the country and made the playoffs last year, the 4 team, or the 2024 team which is this current iteration, what Texas team are you talking about? because everybody outside of Oregon stumbled at some point. There's only one undefeated team. So everybody outside of Oregon Now, Ohio State lost to Michigan. Okay, a team that just beat Alabama, by the way. A team that we beat, but nobody wanted to give us credit for when we beat them up in Ann Arbor. And we want to talk about physicality. Look, records aside, we want to talk personnel. To me, Khalil Mullins is a bigger, stronger, scarier runner behind the Michigan offensive line than Cam Scatterboo is at his size behind the Arizona State offensive line. If we want to get real, the difference is Arizona State has a quarterback and they can throw the ball. So we can't just completely sell out like people do at Michigan. But at the time, Michigan's ground and pound, I mean, they still got it. That's why they're still able to beat some of these teams with no passing attack. Nobody can stop them now. And they don't even have Mullins today. They had 2 freshmen out there today. Mullins is going to the league. Dude, 6'2", 230. We don't act like we haven't hit some big backs before, bro. Don't act like we haven't seen nobody. Oh, bro was out here struggling against Texas State. That's what the film says. And I respect it because I'm also going to look at you against your best. Yeah, y'all ran it up against Iowa State. Utah defense. People I respect. Even though Utah's down this year, people I respect. I'm not an Arizona State hater. I was the one on Bleacher Report screaming Cam Scatterboo's name every week. I got nothing but respect. But this ain't the same Texas defense y'all thought was going to be weak against the run early in the season. That shit has been solidified. So unless you plan on coming out there with the Georgia offensive line, with the Alabama offensive line to match up against Alfred Collins and Jermaine Lole and Vernon Broughton and Bill Norton and that rotation of dudes, when we know Arizona State has their own issues with their offensive line, good luck, bro. Good luck. Quinn, thank you for the super chat. We had to end off here with letting the people know, bro. I appreciate it. Let me see here. Guys, there is somebody at my door, so I will be right back. Bear with me for 1 second. Bear with me for 1 second to figure out who's at the door. All right. I am so sorry about that, guys. We back up. So sorry about that. Somebody had to come fix the fridge here. And you guys it's important to communicate in your marriage. Let's see here. Let me talk to the camera. Hey man, you know what? One day I will grow up and Get wealthy like Marlon and get a Ring camera. Why? The fact, you know what was funny? Forget Anthony Hill. Doesn't this feel like a David Bender game? Doesn't this feel like a Mo Blackwell game? Game speed, see ball, hit ball, go forward. Guys like Jelani McDonald. I mean, Leifau's come along, no doubt, no doubt. But I'm talking about my A gap killers. I'm talking about when Johnny Nansen and them, when it's time to send heat. When it's time to send heat. No, enough was enough. Enough was enough. Yo, Quinn coming through with the donations. Ring camera funds. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Quinn. I appreciate that. Now we're gonna get that situated. I'm sorry, guys. Let's see. Mo Blackwell showed out against Oklahoma State last year in the Big 12 championship game. Look, old boy said Sam Levis said he think he on the same level. He want to show the world quarterback play. I hope if they don't get pressure on Quinn Ewers, they're dead. Quinn, bro. I'm not talking about organic pressure. I'm not talking about blitzing people from Egypt and whatnot, because Sark will have beaters for that, and he will be able to adjust to that real quick. Brian Ward, the Arizona State defensive coordinator, he somehow, some way, he's going to have to manufacture pressure. Straight up. Let's talk about their defense versus Texas offense, because to me, the reason why this game is the Arizona State will struggle to be competitive is because they won't be able to stop our run game. I do not see them stopping wide zone, outside zone. I don't see it. I don't see it. So let's talk about the counters, right? Let's say they sell out. They're sending fits from different angles, trying to trip us up. Any goofy thing that we haven't already seen other teams that also don't have the personnel to hang with us try. People have tried it. People have failed. The only way you really can defend Texas like that is if you have the Georgia personnel to play us straight up and stay home with your two high safeties. And even then, Quinn and them showed in the SEC championship game they can throw themselves out of it. But you're going to have to make Quinn, you're going to have to make this Texas offense throw against their own will. Oh, by the way, Isaiah Bond's coming back. Like we just casually won a playoff game by 14 with our wide receiver one chilling. Think about that. Wide receiver one's coming back. And you're now saying I get to throw on my terms because I'm going to be able to run the ball whenever I want to? Okay. Okay. I respect their team. I love their. I really do. I really do. But styles make fights. I say it all the time. And what they do well, and what caters right into how we want to play football. It's not a good matchup for them, and that's why I've said. Like people are like, oh well, any given set, like yeah, TC, like yeah, every now and again you'll see a TCU Michigan, but Michigan literally had to be asleep at the wheel, in 10 different fluke events had to happen for TCU to have a chance in that game to win. Think about that. 8 out of 10 times. And what lesson did Michigan learn? Don't play with your food. because they went on to win. That goes into propels them to win a national championship. They probably should have been in that thing 2 years in a row against Georgia, 3 years in a row because they made the playoffs and lost to Georgia in the Orange Bowl even the year before that. But they messed around. That Texas would have to do something that we have not seen them do in this current era, this current iteration of Steve Sarkisian, which is have a mental lapse of focus against the opponent and not take the opponent serious. No matter who they've played, Monroe, they have every single person they've taken serious. If Texas has lost to somebody, again, Georgia, Washington, OU, they have lost because it was good on good, great on great. They've lost straight up. They have not lost because we have not had those goofy ass losses that these people in the Big 12 are accustomed to because they want to live in the past and hope cast that they see the Texas that used to show up and get spooked and lose 24-21 to Iowa State all the time. With Sam Mellinger and Keontae Ingram and all these guys. That's not the same team, bro. Thank you for the super chat here, AR. You want to bring your DBs to clean up in the run, a DB one-on-one with blue and open space, house call. 100%. 100%. Look what happened with Clemson. Am I allowed to say that Clemson has better defensive personnel than Arizona State? Am I allowed to say that? You know, I was being nice. I was in a good mood. We recorded that video on Christmas Eve. I was being nice. And honestly, Richie's a nice guy, and I don't really have a problem with what he has pushed, honestly, because Richie to me has been the message I'm hearing from him is more of the motivational Rudy type stuff. The dude that's really talking crazy is Drake at Locked On Big 12. And I can hear this, and Drake's good at what he does. He's grown that channel. They've got almost 30,000 subscribers. He's good at what he does. Drake's the one that's talking crazy, though, because he's bringing up hope casting narratives from last decade, thinking that that's going to matter on Wednesday. And it's not even genuinely the truth. And then he's presenting evidence out of context. Like, oh, Texas doesn't have a 1,000-yard runner. When it's like, if you watch the football games, first of all, you know, Wiseman's getting ready to break 1,000 yards anyway. But when you say stuff like, oh, they don't have a 1,000-yard runner, and we got a guy at 900, a guy at 700, and a guy at 400, what are you talking about? You sure you want to play that run? You sure you want to have that run game conversation with us? Because that's when somebody just goes and says, oh, Texas can't run the ball because they don't have a 1,000-yard rusher. That's putting something out of context. We can play with the numbers. We can play with the stats. Now I need to Steven, you need to start clickbaiting. No, I have no problem with Richie and I are going to talk again. I hope I get to talk to Drake if he's out there, because he's driving a narrative that is false. What's funny too is they talk, you know, Drake's talking about the explosive Arizona State passing attack. Why like how that can just roll off your tongue and you're not acknowledging that you're missing a third team All-American receiver in Jordan Tyson, who is one of the best receivers in the country, is freaking hilarious. Landon, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Thank you. Let naysayer know Holyfield. Donating to the Ring Camera Funds. Appreciate it. That's what we're gonna call the super chat from now on. The Ring Camera Funds. I think Drake does know ball. I think Drake is purposely is doing this on purpose. Because I've seen him talk on other things like forget. Because Texas makes people emotional. When we come to the table, we can't have. It's hard for people that are not Texas fans to have objective football conversation about Texas. When Texas comes up, it's emotion. If this was Arizona State versus, like, let's say Michigan last year, or Arizona State versus Ohio State, there would be a lot more respect and tone out their voice. Because what I don't understand is, how are Arizona State speaking on Big 12 matters when you were in the Pac 12, when we were in the Big 12? You are speaking on things you do not know. You are speaking on things you do not know. You've been in the conference 1 year. We just left. How are you speaking on stuff? Like, pull up your resume from the Pac-12. What are we talking about? Yeah, we were shitty last decade. What does that have to do with the price in tea in China? What does that have to do with Wednesday? What does that have to do with Wednesday? Oh, you know how Texas, I've seen Texas before. What? And the Big 12 people are so hurt by how we left the conference and just dominated and bounced. I get it. Anybody that's ever, somebody just beat the Jonah left and not called you back or nothing, it hurts. I get it. It's a savage way to leave. That's what we did. So they're acting like it didn't happen. They're acting like it didn't even happen. It's crazy. Now they're on the list now, as far as I'm concerned. Because the players put themselves on the list, not even the fans. The fans talking is one thing. The players put themselves on the list. When you start saying stuff like "I'm unstoppable," when you start calling out other players on the other team by name, and look, if that's I rather a team as an underdog. If I'm an Arizona State fan, I rather my team go out this way than be meek and weak and, oh, I don't know. No, they trying to they're trying to fake it till they make it. Generate that confidence, see what you can do. And if you get the game going a certain way early, who knows? I get it. Thank y'all for the ring camera fun. Dimple One, all the OGs are here today too. I love it. We love to see it. Mr. Juarez, thank you, sir. We don't need clickbait. We don't. It's oh, not Kirk Signetti. The players definitely talked themselves onto the BTA list. What's funny is, like, yo, we weren't even checking for Arizona State like that. We weren't even checking for y'all like that. Like, honestly, I was like, hey, we get to play Arizona State. I was just, you saw my face when we were talking to Richie. I was just focused on ball. I didn't know y'all wanted to scrap. We weren't checking for y'all like that. Damn. Okay. I mean, some people would say, hey, at the same token, should my team just lay low? John Wayne coming through with the donations for the Ring Doorbell Fund. Drake's and Baylor and ASU fans salty as fuck, trying to ride our wave. Oh, they riding the wave for sure, because we bring what? Clicks. We bring attention. We bring eyeballs. It's the most engagement they'll have all year, and they should take advantage. If I was a content creator over there, smart move, smart business. Bring up those clicks. That's when I saw the video that said Arizona State, the one that they had up on the channel talking about Arizona State will blow out Texas and Quinn Ewers turnover machine, that video, that's when I was like, oh yeah, they really going full clickbait now. We going full every keyword. What can I put into Chat GPT with all the crucial keywords to make my shit pop? That like I respect the hustle, my guy. It's hard out here. Shout out to the Ring doorbell. Shout out to the Ring doorbell fun. It's hard out here. ASU is like Robert De Niro in the mirror. Oh my goodness, y'all going crazy. Y'all going crazy. Yep. No, go check. Go. It's out there. Go pull it up. Go watch the video. Go watch the video. I'll pull out the belt tomorrow after the game. I respect Arizona State. I think it's going to be, I just know what my team is capable of doing, especially the fact that they've locked in for 2 years against teams they should beat, teams they're more talented than, and they've handled their business. That's with multiple quarterbacks. Think about the last 2 years, in all seriousness, Malik Murphy started games, Quinn Ewers started games, Arch Manning has started games. We've had multiple running backs. I just told you guys wide receiver 1 didn't play in the first playoff game. Depth. See, what those guys don't understand is that Sark and them were building this team for the SEC the whole time. Now, the byproduct was in 2023, they were able to win the conference because that was just a really good football team. Transition year, they were built up, ready to go. But they've been building this team for that. So, they're not familiar with this version of Texas because Texas hadn't been building their program like that in the last decade of the Big 12. They hadn't. That's all facts. But what we're talking about has everything to do with what's going to go down on January 1st, 2025 in Atlanta, Georgia, and what football teams are going to show up, right? You don't see me on here talking about Rudy Carpenter and old heads that used to play for Arizona State. I'm not bringing up Jake Plummer. We over here talking about the now. We're talking about the now. What is your plan to stop Contravian Wisener in this Texas run game? And when we go to Jaden Blue, do you have the speed on the field to keep those guys contained? Do you have the physicality at the line of scrimmage to hold up for 4 quarters? Can you handle Texas starts going on a 10-play, 12-play drive and be able to bounce back from that and have punch on the next series? Because we already know one tendency that Arizona State has, let's talk ball. They make adjustments throughout. They're good at making adjustments, but defensively, they like to do for my boxing heads out here, they like to download rounds. They will give up some early rounds to see what's going on. Go look at the last football game they played against Iowa State. Rocco Beck and them were walking the ball up and down the field early. And then they made they come out and they make their adjustments to set traps, get some turnovers, have some of those cool little nickel blitzes, and cause chaos while their offense is going. Great complementary football plan if you're in that conference. Great complementary football plan if you're not playing Texas. That plan does not work. You can't spot us 14 to 17 points. The game's over. Because one thing that Sark and them have shown and have also is I will put my offense on a little bit more of a conservative mode to burn clock, lean on the run game, and just get out of here. We've done that all year too. And they've practiced that for a reason. Because there are some games where you have to have that strategy. It's the best way to win. But if you want to see us run it up, they can do that too. The tape is free. Go watch it. And they've played a lot of close football games. A lot of close football games. Some against some good teams, but others against, it's like, damn, y'all sweating it out against. I need to incorporate that, JB. Donations. Donations. Here's the other thing. This is also another prediction I have. I think Kenny Dillingham's going to treat this game like Joey Maguire treated the game and love it. I think he's going to gamble. And I think that plays into Texas A&M. And that's another example of things that we've learned from in the past. I think he's going to be Mr. Fourth. We may not see their punter unless it's a really dire situation. It could be 4th and 7 from their 35. They might go. But you want to talk like you're going to play us straight up when those are the tactics you have to employ. Those are the tactics they had to deploy in the Big 12 championship game, by the way, when the game was tight. And it worked. When they were going, they were going for it on their own side against Iowa State, and then they would come up because it showed the Scatterboo thing, and then they went play action, and I loved that call. I like Kenny Dillingham, young, ballsy coach. Okay. But tricks and all those things can only get you so far. Texas got a lot more margin to work with. I can play you without my safeties walking down. That's going to be the real key. Because Sam Levinson, if they don't make Texas, and now the way we play football, we don't just live out of too high and whatnot like that. We play more of a quarters look. But, our safeties, just because of how they play, are always involved in the run game. But what I mean by that is we dictate our look. They won't dictate our look. They won't walk us out of anything. Now, if we start having problems tackling and whatnot, yeah, I'll be concerned. That would be something that we haven't shown really throughout SEC play, right? If they start just doing what Cam Scatterboo does, and I think they're going to have to move him around and be very, very creative with how they're trying to get him the ball. They're limited with their weapons. Let's also make that clear. Jordan Tyson is a big piece. That's like us missing Matthew Golden, Isaiah Bond, and Ryan Wingo all rolled into one, and not having any of it, because that's how much production Sam Levitt, go look at his passing chart, by the way. He's thrown, 30 passes, maybe twice? And one of them was the loss to Texas Tech. And yes, they did lose to Texas Tech. But the volume, go look at the volume share that Jordan Tyson had. Yeah, you guys, look, I give them credit. They went into the Iowa State game. They were featuring Guillory. They were moving the ball around. They got some other guys involved, and they started throwing a couple jump balls to some of the big guys downfield. Manny Muhammad, put your chin strap on. Let's play some better football today. Okay? But we as long as we don't give up the goofiness, then everybody's attention and eyes are going to be pointed at 4 on Arizona State. And I hope Bubba's been working on his conditioning and he's up to snuff after this layoff. Because we've seen guys lose some steam with layoffs like this in bowl season. I'm not saying that's the case with Cam Scatterboo, but he I think mentally he knows he's going to be carrying a massive slate, right, to come in and try to win this game. That's just the reality of the situation. Yeah, the bye week conversation is interesting because I think it favors both teams, really. I mean, if I was Arizona State, I would want the bye because they don't have as much depth as we do. So if they had some guys that were banged up or some guys that were questionable, like Jordan Tyson's not going to play, but everybody else, like, they get to have, and they get, let's say that they gambled and started prepping for Texas the moment that the bracket came out, and they said, "Hey, we don't think Clemson's going to win. We're going to spend all of this time prepping for Texas." I think more realistically, both teams have around the same amount of prep time because Texas also was doing work for Arizona State while they were doing Clemson work. If you know how some of the, especially staffs as large as ours, not necessarily install was going in, but preparation was happening for Arizona State weeks ago. But if we want to go in terms of 10 days, I mean, 10 days, that's plenty of time for Texas. That's more time than we normally have to prep for somebody. So I think for Texas, it was good to get that bad taste out of our mouth from the SEC championship game and to play ball again and to beat a good team, see the ball go in, feel good, get the offense back rolling, get the run game back rolling. The only thing that is that we really kind of suffered with having to play an additional game at this point is the health of Cam Williams, who right now is questionable, but I think Big Cam will play. And we've seen that Trevor Gooseby can hold it down if he can't go. I'll say it for the third time. Our number one receiver got to rest to heal up on his ankle. We saw Quinn's ankles looking better. So I think the bye was favorable for both teams. I don't think, you know, I don't think it'll hurt anybody. But I do think that some people are in for reckoning, like John Wayne says. This ain't your daddy's Big 12 anymore. As a matter of fact, this ain't a Big 12. This is what I'll say. What Arizona thinks is state is what they know is a traditional Big 12 game, and the pacing and kind of what they saw with the Big 12 championship game, the last few games that they played, even similar to what they've seen in the Pac-12. This game going to go to the trenches. Okay, that's where Texas is taking this thing. Especially, like even Clemson, like even Texas got to flex a little bit against Clemson, and Clemson is built in the trenches. But Texas really got to and that's what Texas started getting to at the end of the Big 12 with Jonathan Brooks in them last year. So I just don't think they understand the level of physicality that's coming their way on top of the speed and athleticism behind it. Somebody mentioned Anthony Hill. Sam Levitt was leaving the pocket, was keeping these Iowa State guys off guard. There's a reason why Texas has not allowed. Think about some of the real mobile guys. Sam Levitt's a good player, but is he a runner like Taylon Green? No. Look how Anthony Hill and them boys corralled guys like Taylon Green, corral guys like Michael Van Buren, Michael Hawkins Jr. I'm talking about just from the running. I'm talking about just the mobile quarterback aspect, the running aspect. Down to Cade Klubnik last week, who we know in high school is a 200-meter runner. They don't give that up. So that second, hey, look and go and pump and then try to run and put the ball down, you have a rude awakening when you see zero, and he will speed him up. And then that leaves more on Cam Scatterboo's plate to deal with. And they're talking about, hey, we're gonna give Cam Scatterboo 30 carries no matter what. You go ahead and you do that, okay? And we will be waiting. Because those 29 carries for 47 yards is going to hit like a shotgun blast in the chest in Tempe the next day when you're looking at the stat sheet. Like, damn. So, Corey, oh no, man. Hey, get well soon. Prayers up to you, man. Prayers up to you. I hope they get that stuff sorted out, man. Hope you're in good hands with the medical team. Corey, you've been here for a long time, man. I care about you, brother. So please let us know that you're okay and you're in good hands. Good call out here by JB. Arizona State has not hit anybody since December 7th. So again, tackling physicality. I mean, y'all saw how the physicality that Wisner and Jaden Blue were running with last game. Don't know you from Midland. Wisner's running like he got bigger as the season went on. Like, I don't know, the way I'm seeing him finish his runs now, it's a whole different level of pop, attitude, the whole bit. Yeah, I see both sides of it too. I agree with Lone Wolf Longhorn. Personally, I like a game to get. Yeah, no, I see both sides of it. Cape, I hear you, but this is a playoff game. This ain't a these bowl games, these non-playoff bowl games. Yeah, weird stuff's gonna happen. Alabama got humbled. I mean, how many? We don't even know who. I can tell you right now, looking at Michigan's roster, several guys didn't even like. They had different personnel in there. There's a whole bunch of factors. That's why it's difficult for Vegas to handicap this stuff. And I'm not saying that Texas can't get humbled. I'm not saying Texas can't get humbled, but these bowl games, I look again. Show me over the last 2 years where Texas has been favored like this against an opponent like this, where they have shit the bed, because it hasn't happened. The one thing I respect is that they've taken every single person like this seriously. They may not always cover the spread, but they've won the game, and more times than not, they've dominated opponents like this. And they've gotten pushback for it. Because we've beaten people the way we're supposed to be. Everybody else will drop a game here, like everybody else got to worry about this. Texas has been the most consistent against when we are lined up against a lesser talented opponent, we win the game. So I'm not, yeah, and like I said, Bama had so many different, yeah. That's why you guys really gotta pay attention to the rosters before you even look at the spreads or the handicaps. This is really only relevant in terms of the playoff games. Oh, Isaac. Okay. Okay. Isaac Darden. Okay. Wisner running like water bug. Water bug. That's what Booby used to say. Water bug. Y'all let me know who else popping off tomorrow. Let's on both sides. Who else is popping off tomorrow? I think Jelani McDonald's gonna get something. I think this is a good matchup for him. I think this is a really good matchup for David Benda in particular. The same way Clemson Layfowl was more of the match. That's what I like about our linebackers. We have guys for different matchups. With Anthony Hills for everything, but I think David Benda is gonna make some noise just because of the similar to how the Michigan game started off. If y'all remember that, when he started coming through and was letting Mullings, letting Donovan Edwards know what's up. And it's funny, everybody talk about, oh, all Michigan can do is run, but half of y'all can't stop it. Interesting. Manny Muhammad, love to see a bounce back game for Manny Muhammad if we can get that. That would be very high on the priority list because the Cotton Bowl game will be all hands on deck. If we earn our right to play in the Cotton Bowl, if it's Ohio State or Oregon, that will be all hands on deck. But right now, our focus, our 100%, is on Arizona State, who is now on the belt to ass list. At first, you have my curiosity. Now you have my attention. You have my attention, Arizona State. You asked for it. I'm not talking about the fans. I think we will see Quintavious, especially a healthy Quinn. I think Quinn, dare I say, I like the way Quinn has played. The only bad quarter I would say was, I didn't like the way Quinn played in the second half of the A&M game. I thought he got a little, I don't know if his medication was wearing off or if he got a little too cavalier with things. But I like the way he played in the Georgia game, and I damn sure love the way he played against Clemson. Like I said, if I get the Quinn that played against Clemson, we're fine. We're fine. That's who I need my quarterback to be. That guy. Now there's levels to Quinn. Now there's the Quintavious that you saw against Michigan that went to Ann Arbor that is all of a sudden looking like he could be the number one pick in the draft type stuff. But if I just get the Quinn that played against Georgia, the Quinn that played against Clemson, we're fine. And what's promising to me is he's healthy at the right time. I think his composure, how he's handled these things have looked good to me. And by the way, he's getting a healthy Isaiah Bob back to work with. Isaac said Blue. Jaden Blue quietly has been a postseason killer. If you think about last year, Big 12 championship game, he was one of our best players in the playoff game against Washington. Blue popped off last game against Clemson. AR said Baron Sorrell popping off. Baron Sorrell about to come out and say, hey, sometimes you got to pop out and show a naysayer. The whole offense, Steven. I know y'all can't mention the Washington game without mentioning the fumble. I get it. I know. But he was one of our best players that night. We had a chance to win that game as well because of Jaden Blue. It's those guys. I talk about playmakers and game breakers. We had this conversation last year. That's a guy that can be a game breaker for us. Game breakers. Just hold on to that ball, Blue. What I like with Baron Sorrell and them too, you know who else might pop off is Trey Moore. What all world lineman does he have to deal with in this game? Especially if we're trying to have, especially like our third down packages. Let's say we're boxing up Scalaboo. We got more of our big guys in there, right? And we boxing it up, and then we go with our rush packages with Colin Simmons, Ant Hill with the T&E with Colin Simmons, and then you got Baron Sorrell or Trey Moore on the other side. Ooh, killer. Mike Gooseby, we on the way to the A. I see you, my brother. I see you, Mr. Gooseby. I know your son Trevor's ready to ball at a moment's notice. We about to go get it. And this time, Mr. Gooseby, you're coming back with a W. Coming back to the DFW with a W so we can get ready and link up for the Cotton Bowl. That's the goal, Mr. Gooseby. That's the goal. I want Quinn Wick. I want Quinn Wick. Washington had NFL offensive linemen. I mean, they had Troy Fatano, who's with the Pittsburgh Steelers now. That was a top 20 pick. Washington had was it Washington? That won the Joe Moore Award. Didn't they win the Joe Moore last year? Or am I tripping? Let me. I'm about to fact check my own self on channel. We are not about to compare Washington's offensive line of last year to. Yeah, they did win the Joe Moore Award last year. See, that's what I'm talking about. We lost. That's when we lost. Like we lost to a team that was. Those are the type of people we lose. We didn't lose. People are acting like we got upset by like a scrub team. Fatano was a top 20 pick. It was great on great. He out here dropping games. Who on Arizona State's offensive line is an NFL prospect? Somebody educate me. Were they up for the Joe Moore Award? I don't recall it. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't recall us saying, Corey, I know you're in the hospital right now. Please get well. We need to get those blood clots out. But that fentanyl might be hidden right now, my brother. I think the meds are starting to kick in, brother, because I don't remember us saying we were going to whoop up on Washington's offensive line. If I said that, I was dead wrong. Nah. I don't. I think we may have. I think when we did our breakdown, I think we may have said push. I think I may have even given the edge to Washington offensive line. I'm not 100% sure on that. But I don't. I know we had respect for the Washington offensive line last year. Y'all, as a matter of fact, as my mind is coming back to me, I do remember us talking about how little Michael Penix Jr. was being sacked. We talked about this in our preview last year. I don't even think Michael Penix, at the point we played him, I don't know if he'd gotten sacked 10 times in the whole season. That's how good their pass pro was. On top of their short yardage stuff that they had with Johnson at running back. So okay, he said he thought they were undersized and we would push them around. Okay. I just don't like. I'm not putting Arizona State's offensive line in the same breath with the 2023 Washington offensive line. They have not earned that. No. Yeah. Harish is spot on. Penix was layering the football where it was only his man could get it or it was incomplete. He was throwing high level dimes. That was one of the best quarterback performances anyone. Honestly, I would say that Texas, if you were to think about like the top 10 quarterback performances, regardless of opponent last year, I think Texas probably saw two of them, at least from Penix and then what Dylan Gabriel did with his arm and his legs in the combo. What's up, AT? Let me answer Austin's question. Shout out to my Cowboy Corner partner. Thoughts on Dillingham being absolutely unapologetic for his team's media disaster all week long. At this point, he's just embracing it. He don't care. I think they're it smells it. Austin, and I've been saying it. It reminds me of Joey. It reminds me of Joey McGuire. I think that's the route that they have chosen to go, is to have this crazy level of It runs through Lubbock confidence. And you know what I mean? I think that they think psychologically that's the route to try to rattle Texas than to be PR friendly. And I respect the coach for saying he backs his guys and what they're saying, but I think the quarterback doubling down on the Quinn stuff, you're putting a big target on your back. And you're putting a target on your back without your bailout guy and Jordan Tyson. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. If Texas goes down and Sam Levitt's dotting us up and these dudes are beating us without a third team All-American, we need to have a whole different conversation about how we prepared for this football game. In my opinion, we need to have a whole different conversation about that. I don't know how much they'll show the Arch package today. Guys are asking about the Arch package. No, if they're throwing out of look, let's just call it what it is. If Arch is in the game and he's throwing out of that package, it's just him running the offense. At this point, now if you're starting with zone read and whatnot to pick up some yards or whatever, so be it. But the mentality to me needs to be more of we just here to run the offense. I don't want it to be because we already know Arch is full menu with the offense. Look at his when he started. So that's not a problem. But I don't doubt focus with this team. I don't doubt not after what they've shown me the last 2 years. Again, show me the inferior opponent that Texas we've just completely just now we've had some close games. Yeah, we've had some, even a close game like Vanderbilt. Like people like throw out Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt was a close game. Vernon Brown doesn't have that penalty. We win by 2 scores. Kobe Black had to pick 6. And if you think about it in the trenches and how the game flow of that game went, we knew it was going to go fast because Vanderbilt runs triple option type scheme. So the clock's going to fly. The possessions were already going to be limited, but we had control of that game. The score was closer than it looked, but CB, good point. Previous Texas teams probably barked back at Arizona State. Texas has been, to CB's point, to me, Texas has been very business-like veterans, like a guy that's been in the All-Star game 7-8 times already. You know that's the demeanor I'm seeing from Texas players, led by Quinn Ewers. Has been very business-like, boring answers. But Sark said it when he threw that subtle shot at Lane and basically told Lane to shut the fuck up about bitching about, oh, why aren't we in the playoffs and blah blah blah. And he basically was like, win the games you're supposed to win, bro. And you be here. We win the games we're supposed to win. We focus in on the game. We didn't get caught up by Kentucky, bro. So I think that they've, from a culture standpoint, have reined that in really, really well. Right now, Kenny Dillingham and this group, that's been their demeanor all year long. Nobody respects us. He was voted the 15th coach in the Big 12. I don't know where. Somebody tell me in the comments where Arizona State was voted to finish in the Big 12. I'm sure it was probably in the lower half of the conference. Somebody look that up. Where was Arizona State projected? So they have funneled this energy all year. This is not new. Dead last. So I have no problem with them. That they are they are the definition of us against the world. But that only gets you so, and that's gotten them really far. Think about it. It's gotten them to the college football quarterfinal. It's gotten them to the Peach Bowl. It's gotten them to win a Big 12 championship game. But they have not seen a team remotely of this caliber who has the equivalent motivation, the equivalent energy with deeper, stronger, bigger, faster personnel. They haven't. So that's where the journey ends, I hate to say, for them. That's where the journey ends, unless Texas is completely unfocused. But I don't have any problem with Arizona State. They because I'm hearing some of them say, "Oh, these Texas fans don't respect us." Blah blah blah. They don't that was coming out their mouth before. Like I'm like, oh, this is because y'all were like, no. This is what you have become psychologically because that's you've been trying to prove that all season long. I get it. I get it. But at some point, let's turn on the tape and talk ball. Because those aren't football reasons. Mm-mm. Football reasons, how are you going to get pressure on Quinn Ewers? How are you going to stop our run game? When we go 12 personnel, I talked about Juan Davis and his blocking. Juan Davis did not have a catch against Clemson. He was one of the most important players on offense, and nobody here has even brought him up. But when we go 12 personnel and we really want to start banging, what is Arizona State's plan to deal with him on the edge with combo blocks with guys like Cam Williams and Gooseby and DJ Campbell? How do you plan on defending that on a snap to snap basis? Yeah, you might get a stop here and there. But what is your plan to defend that over time? Schematically. How are you going to be able to move the football and get the football to guys in your offense, getting them open without Jordan Tyson? I already know, Texas fans, listen now. Get ready for end arounds. Get ready for throwback. Any junk in the trunk type offensive play that Marcus Arroyo and Kenny Dillingham can think of, especially from their own area to try to throw the ball deep or whatever, a throwback screen, you will see it. So just get ready. If I'm PK, that's what I'm telling the kids. Is just stay disciplined because that's going to be their counter with Scatterboo because they don't have a guy they can just force feed the ball to. Like Klubnik, when he got there, when he synced up with TJ Moore, that's how you start moving the ball down the field and just playing catch on the outside. We couldn't do nothing with it. Manny couldn't do nothing with it. They don't have that. Yeah, quitting football reasons. Thank you for the super chat, my brother. Ring doorbell cam fund. We're going to improve the home security here today. We're getting better home security in 2025. Quinn said, we about to see the reverse toss pass double screen. Des Garrett said Arizona State's strength of schedule was in the 70s. Ours was 36. Yeah, I mean, you can make the argument about Ohio State's strength of schedule as well as, I know they played Oregon, they played Penn State, but they would go 2 months with playing Marshall and a whole bunch of Big Ten teams that couldn't score to save their lives. So everybody's strength of schedule is interesting. We can talk about Boise State's playing tonight. They played a Mountain West schedule. Penn State's playing tonight. Their best win is SMU, which was their last game. So Who's out here just playing? And that's the thing, man. I mean, to me, it's still how you look and what your execution looks like. Are you well? I can tell if you're well coached and all those things too. But yeah, at some point, it does come down to the Jims and the Joes. You know who was really well coached and played good ball, and somebody brought them up earlier, and I'm gonna bring it back. Was Indiana? I mean, go look at their PFF grades. Those guys have been playing good ball all year, but when it mattered, and we should have seen it coming when they played Michigan. That Michigan game was hard for them. They beat them, but that Michigan game was hard for them. They were starting to get pushed around, and when you look at the Ohio State game and the Notre Dame game, at the line of scrimmage, those two teams set the tone that y'all don't belong on the field with us. When we really serious, when it really about it, and there's no more tricks. There's no more, trying to do whatever. We playing straight up. They and Indiana's been awesome. Had an awesome best season in the history of their school. And Arizona State, awesome year. One of the best years they've had in the history of their school. Winning a conference your first year. Something we were trying to do in the SEC. Odd future. I agree with this. I think I'm still reading it, but yeah. Before I get to Odd Futures comment, I'm gonna get to Surfer Boy. Surfer Boy. By the way, let me know how you. We'll end here. How are you feeling about Notre Dame tomorrow night? And Mr. Gunnar Stockton making his first start. It's a big game, brother. How you feeling about Notre Dame? Will you guys survive in the Sugar Bowl? Let me know. But you're right. These SEC wars, these trench battles against teams, I think we started to see a payoff even last week against Clemson, especially the way we were able to run the ball and just be physical with them. It was crazy. But I want to get to Odd Futures comment. College football is NFL light now. NIL and portal really made things interesting going forward. Just the difference in a few teams with a lot of money will consistently be in the playoffs outside of A&M. Yeah, outside of A&M. I'm hearing they're looking for a new defensive coordinator potentially. Ooh, ooh, Quentin, try and put a few dollars in your pocket. Okay, I see you. I don't know about that one. I don't know. I got to see what Notre Dame is going to do with Riley Leonard. Um, I got to see what Notre Dame's going to do with Riley Leonard because I think Kirby and them are really going to try to tee on Jeremiah Love and that Notre Dame run game that's been awesome. And I think Notre Dame defense is ready for this. I like the secondary for this. I like what they've shown physically up front. They also started the year playing an SEC team. So I like I like Notre Dame's preparation for this, but with Riley Leonard, I think he's going to have to hit some throws because, yeah, mobile quarterbacks have given Georgia fits, but Michael and Jalen and them probably ready for more straight up quarterback run game. I want to see what the off script stuff looks like. And when throws are there, Riley Leonard's been better throughout the season of just throwing from the pocket straight up when throws are there to move the chains. That's what's also helped the run game. So I want to see if that stays on course tomorrow night for them. Very interesting matchup. Penn State versus Boise State. I mean, I like Penn State. I mean, again, I think it's Jim's and Joe's thing. We'll see. Can Ashton JT pop off? Can he pop off against that defense? And the other thing too, Boise's defense versus the Penn State offense. Penn State offensively, when they're running the ball well, they will put up points when they're running the ball well. I think they'll be able to run on Boise a little bit. So we'll see. Penn State said you're not getting the record on us. Yeah, you saw it with Indiana. This is a good point here, Surfer Boy. Penn State wanted Boise, by the way. This is but hey, all the people in the room that love to only focus on the underdogs and the little guys, and they hate the SEC and they hate the blue bloods and they hate these teams, and they want to talk about, Ashton JT didn't win the Heisman because he played for a Mountain West school and all this type of stuff. This is your chance to pop off. The computers aren't deciding stuff anymore. Is no longer just the Power Four club at Alabama Invitational for the 14 playoff. It's 12-team playoff now. Show out. You got a chance now. You got a chance. Boise State, you got to buy. Arizona State, you got to buy. You got to buy. Show out. Show us. We want to see it. Show us. Or when the game starts, you start seeing, you're like, oh, these guys are a little bit bigger than what we're used to. And people keep talking about, well, hey, Boise State, yes, and it's true. Boise State ran the ball on Oregon. That was what, week 2, week 3 of the season? Before conference play kicked in? That's why I said, if we had played Arizona State, let's say early September, they probably would have run for a few yards on us back then. Remember, I was telling you guys, Kenny Baker didn't even know what the rotation was yet. We needed a couple weeks to get that set. Now we Gucci. That's just common sense. We needed a little bit of time to get that set. So yeah, if we had played Arizona State back in, with Scott, yeah, he would have picked up some yards. But now honestly, we got it together pretty quick because we had Michigan week 2. And we didn't let them go crazy in the run game. Their leading rusher had 41 yards, I think. 47 yards. It was it Edwards? I think Dom Edwards led the team in rushing in that game. Michigan was like one of the few teams that threw the ball for over 200 yards on us, believe it or not. Isn't that weird? So, score predictions. So when I was with Richie from Locked On Sun Devils, I had predicted 34-10. I wanted to do 34-9 because I'm not sure if we're going to let them score a touchdown, or if it was going to be a touchdown field goal type thing. But I know here's the other thing, they also have kicking problems. So I'm staying, I think I'm going to stay in that 34-10, 34-9 area. Comfortable cover. But I would not be surprised if Texas flexed a little bit or had the opportunity to flex in this game. I think we're going to make the game very physical. We'll have long sustained drives. maybe hit some explosive plays here and there, but more so just phone booth football. We're gonna hit you in the face, and then Quinn Ewers, you do whatever you want off the play action and screen game. You won't have pressure to deal with, sir, and you get out of here with a comfortable win. I think that's the range of the game I see. Because there's playoff games where you can win, let's say 31-3, and it feels like you just lost 58-0. So this might be one of those games where, yeah, the score could be, we won by 3 or 4 scores, but if we made the game feel, we as Floyd Mayweather used to say, in the later rounds, we're going to take you out in the deep waters and see how well you can swim. Let's see how well you can swim. And what does that mean for Texas when we have those rotation of guys still coming in the third and fourth quarter, and y'all are limited, still running with that same personnel? What are you going to be able to do? So, y'all, I got to run, but I really appreciate everybody coming in, tapping in. Want to do this fan preview with y'all, and I think we've set our piece here. I will be back tomorrow, most likely after, because we play at noon, so I'll probably be late. I'll probably do the late show because I want to watch all the games. Ohio State, Oregon, as well as Notre Dame, Georgia. So we'll probably be on late into Thursday, and then recap Texas, recap the day. And then I will be having another video with Richie. Maybe we can get Drake in there. And I think we're going to be recording on Friday because Richie's he's flying to Atlanta for the game. So if you see him there, tell him what's up. But yeah, down for a dual stream. Yeah, hit me up. Just send me a text or anything. We'll try to get it scheduled. I'm always down. Plus, we'll have Harish. We'll have time before hopefully as we're planning and prepping for the Cotton Bowl. So I'm down for a dual stream for sure. All right. Well, I appreciate y'all. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. It helps. It really does. It's free to show love. So subscribe. I'm trying to build up the channel and everything. Trans around. Tran will be here. Man, he's got a lot going on with them kids, man. But he Tran's around. But anyway, love you guys. Appreciate it. Horns always up. Hook 'em.